You're with the hard facts from the CNN News 18 Federal Bank Primetime Studio. Viewers, a few days ago, we had reported with a degree of surprise that the Khadim of the Ajmer Sharif Dargah, Gohar Chisti, had been miraculously let off by a court in Rajasthan in a hate speech case. In that case, viewers, you might remember, it was filed against him in 2022 along with some other individuals, where it was alleged that he and those individuals collectively chanted the baleful Sar Tan Se Juda slogans during a protest in 2022 against some comments made by former BJP national spokesperson Nupur Sharma. Viewers, the acquittal ignited debate and elicited surprise because on the face of it, the case against Chisti and 5 other co-accused looked like an open and shut one. Chisti, after all, was caught on camera, and you can see him there in the middle of your screens. That's when he was arrested, viewers. But in another video, he was caught on camera raising the hate-laced slogan. It all happened in broad daylight. There should have been zero ambiguity. But today, the hard facts have appeared after we accessed the copy of the court order. It turns out, viewers, that a string of unexplained lapses by Rajasthan police that aroused court suspicion, unquote, were committed during the probe in 2022. These lapses have been flagged by the judge as the reasons for the acquittal of the Khadim of the Ajmer Sharif Dargah, Gohar Chisti, the man on your screens. We will now go over the exact nature of the lapses. But first, here's a quick look back on the video evidence that got Chisti and 5 others into trouble. Let's play out that video. Viewers, cast your eyes back on that video. Even the lips, viewers, are syncing with the slogan. And as the Khadim repeats himself, as if on cue, those around him, some of them fellow accused, also chant the same slogan in unison. There can be no doubt, viewers. There can be no doubt. As I said, this was, for all practical purposes, an open and shut case. In fact, viewers, when the charges were brought against this person and when, of course, the media picked up this story, he decided to flee. He was caught weeks later, weeks after this particular protest rally in 2022 in Hyderabad. Viewers, today it turns out, and I am not saying this, the court is saying this, that the police, while investigating this matter, committed some extremely questionable lapses. For example, the police failed to explain why the complainant's report was submitted almost a week after the slogan hearing. This was not some closed secret, viewers. Police couldn't explain why the complainant's phone, for instance, why the complainant's phone containing the video recording was not collected as electronic evidence. I mean, this is the most basic thing anyone should do when investigating a case, especially one that had quickly turned controversial, viewers. The clip of the original 15-minute recording taken from the complainant's phone was then spliced by the police into several smaller bits of a minute long. Why, viewers, we don't know. Even the complainant doesn't know. critical CCTV footage submitted as evidence did not have the audio. Now, viewers, think about this. In a case that depends completely on the audio, on what was said, if you take the CCTV and you don't have audio on it and you submit it as evidence, what do you think you're going to have on your face, viewers? It's going to be egg. Even the court was bewildered. Procedure to collect electronic evidence undermined inexplicably. There are certain things you need to do. If you're taking electronic evidence from a particular individual or a group of individuals or an organization, you have to go out there and file an order. You have to go out there and go to court to get an order. Then present it to that particular individual, organization, or group of individuals before you extract something. That was not done. The investigating officer of the case failed to convince the court on the authenticity of the electronic evidence also. There were questions raised because apparently the police thought that it would be better to take a recording from the phone of the clip rather than viewers taking the phone itself. So the primary evidence literally was turned into a secondary evidence. Naturally, viewers, and then spliced, of course. Naturally, viewers, the court said that, look, this is not looking like authentic. The police failed to record the testimony of independent eyewitnesses. You can see that crowd in those pictures, viewers. There were hundreds of people there. They couldn't even find one to testify to this fact. Look at the number of people. It's not as if it was happening in some closed, as I said, underground bunker. So many lapses by the police should have naturally raised eyebrows. The judgment came out 2 days back. We raised this issue. Viewers, no other news channel is on this story. I don't know why. Had this slogan been raised by someone from another community, the majority community, wearing saffron robes, and that person had been let off after 3 or 4 years, and prima facie, the court concluded that it was because of certain missteps that were taken by the prosecution, all hell would have broken loose. No, viewers. Not one word. The case, after all, was a consequential one. Could it be that the police were influenced? Could it be that they were under political instructions? These questions are legitimate, and only the police can supply answers. But who is questioning the police? It's going to be left, of course, viewers, to CNN News 18 and the Hard Facts team. Many have said that the slogans incited murderous attacks on innocents who had spoken up in support of Nupur Sharma. Sadly, here we have a suspiciously botched investigation that seemingly has ended in giving a free run to Islamist hate mongers, calling for religiously ordained vigilantism. But none of those who speak up for secularism or constitutionalism are protesting. The probe was conducted under the Congress Gehlot government. Will the grand old party break its silence? If not, why? Will its allies break its silence? If not, why? Will the present state government under BJP call for a reinvestigation? And if not, then at least a departmental inquiry. It should do both, viewers, in my opinion. Let's open this up. Let's ask some basic pointed questions. And I want to first begin with an advocate, Ishkan Bhandari. We also have Kamru Chaudhary. We also have Mr. Shahid Ali, Islamic scholar. And of course, Ratan Sharda, who's an RSS ideologue. Ishkan Bhandari, I'm sure you've read this order. You've gone over it specifically, page 70 onwards, where the court actually pronounces why it has come to this conclusion to acquit these individuals who, as clear as day, are chanting one of the vilest slogans that you could possibly chant in this country.
Rahul, it's not only a vilest slogan, I believe it's a terrorist slogan. Because when you organize a mob which chants Sar Tan Se Juda, and we have seen in the contemporaneous time period how people, Kanhaiya Lal Taylor in Rajasthan itself, how he was killed, how he was murdered, and how he was butchered for almost for no fault of his, just because he was supporting some viewpoints or because he had some viewpoints which were not liked by people who say Sar Tan Se Juda. So that had played out in Rajasthan, and then you have organized mobs chanting this. Now it is the duty of police to present evidence in the court, and these are very basic ways of presenting evidence, that electronic evidence has to be preserved, that the original phone or original device by which it was shot has to be preserved, has to become a case property, has to be given to court, that CDRs, if they are made, they have to follow prescribed procedure. I was reading at one page, the police officer says, I did it. At other page, he says, and in evidence, he says it was done by the police station computer by somebody else, it appears to be. So when your testimony is so lacking on the basic parameters, it raises the question, was it deliberate? Because even a first-year police investigator knows how to investigate these basic electronic evidences. In the new act, that is why some of these provisions have been strengthened. But even in the old act, 65B, a certificate how an evidence will be presented, is a law well settled by the Honorable Supreme Court. So when you deliberately do this, and why only this case, Rahul? Remember the case of Mr. Owaisi, where prima facie everybody can see what he is speaking on 15 minutes though, but in court the evidence is not sufficient. So why is this gap coming in the evidence? Is there are some things which have to be gone into. Let's talk about Rajasthan case. Was there political interference that police did not investigate? A case which is a high profile case because Kanhaiya Lal had already happened. Global eye is on you. You have the senior most police officers in such sensitive cases guiding investigation. How can such lacunas happen? How can CDRs not be complying with the Evidence Act? So it is not only a departmental inquiry. I believe you need to have an SIT on this and find out by both the senior officers, the investigating officer, as well as was there any political pressure, because today what has happened is a re-death, a re-threat to Indian citizens, that a mob can say Sar Tan Se Juda and can escape scot-free while there are other people on the ground who will carry out that action and do Sar Tan Se Juda. This is a terrorist chant, and we need to have justice if you do terrorist chants which lead to murders.
Well, Kamru Chaudhary, I remember when certain slogans were raised by a person called Yati Narsinghanand, terrible slogans, calling for genocide, etc. No place for those kind of slogans in a democracy, especially a secular democracy. Here you have individuals who are caught on camera. I mean, it boggles the mind that when their acquittal happens, these individuals, in what looks like a completely open and shut case, there is no outrage amongst the so-called secular liberal ecosystem. And I have to ask you, Kamru Chaudhary, number one, do you believe that this particular slogan that was chanted and is repeatedly chanted in different theatres across the country, routinely, should not be A, outlawed? Number two, does it have a place in a civilized democracy like ours, especially a secular one? And number three, why is there so much silence?
Yeah, Rahul, first and foremost, we must understand this context of this case at the first instance. The Sar Tan Se Juda slogan is, of course, a hate speech category slogan, and it should not be tolerated by any peace-loving or constitution-adhering citizen of India. There is no doubt about it. My first point is out here. Now, what did the Rajasthan police try to implicate Mr. Gohar Chisti in this case? That we must understand. They put in the section 115, 143, 149, 504, 506 under the IPC. They tried to link the murder of Kanhaiya Lal to Gohar Chisti, which they failed miserably to prove as a prosecution. It's the failure of the administration to link the murder.
It was a Congress administration. It was a Congress administration. And given the fact that the Congress, hang on. Given the fact that the Congress has given tickets to people who get up and say, boti boti kaat denge, Modi ki, and who have gone out on record to make vile hate speech. And you know who I'm talking about. The one person who shared a platform with even Priyanka Gandhi Vadra and was taken into the party before the last assembly elections. Should I remind you, sir,
Can I complete
Could it
now?
be that, could it be, and I'm asking you this question, could it
But
be,
it
sir,
will be the government
that
is
the
the BJP.
administration itself,
Can
excuse
I
me,
complete?
sir, let me speak one by one, please. I cannot have, Mr. Shahid Ali, you sort of leaping in. I'll come to you. We are not running away, please. We're not running away. Neither am I running away, neither are you running away. We have not committed any crime. So we don't need to run away. We don't need to be like the Khadim. So please, I want to come back to Mr. Kamru Chaudhary. Mr. Chaudhary,
My God, you are
has the
upsetting me
now
with
again,
everybody
Mr. Ali,
because I
now
have
again,
been-
Mr. Ali, you're
No,
going to
this
go
is
on
not
and on.
fair. This is not fair.
No, what I'm
are
asking
equating
Mr.
me-
Chaudhary, can I
you are
not ask
equating
Mr.
me with
Chaudhary a
someone.
question?
You are equating me with someone. Is this the responsibility of yours to say like that? If I'm pinpointing that the government in Uttar Pradesh is of BJP, so you are pinpointing, you are equating me
Sir,
with
this
Khadim and
case
all?
was prosecuted under a Congress government. Please at least know
In
the
Uttar
facts.
Pradesh, the government is of Bharatiya Janata Party, and the person to whom you have referred to,
Mr.
the person you have,
Mr. Shahid
the
Ali.
person to whom you have referred to, that he got the ticket. Why
Mr.
he
Mr.
was
Shahid Ali.
why he was not prosecuted in Uttar Pradesh?
Do you not
Was
know
the
that he
government
was
of Bharatiya Janata
prosecuted?
Party?
Do you not know
So
that
you
he
have
was
been leveling
prosecuted? Do you not
allegations
know
against
that there was an
Congress, that is
FIR
fine.
filed against him? Please.
Sir, you can
One
level
second.
allegations
One
against the
second.
Congress,
Shahid
that is
Ali,
Rahul,
fine.
one
it's my
second.
turn. Let
But
me
Now
finish
look at
my
this
point of
gentleman.
view. Then you can go
Why
to
is
him.
he getting excited? Why are you shouting so much?
Mr.
Calm down. I'll
Mr.
come to
Ali,
you.
Mr. Ali, let us all have a informed debate in this panel. Let us all have our points of view. Yeah, Rahul, the point that I was making, if you permit me, for the next 30 seconds, please. If Sar Tan Se Juda is a hate speech, nobody in this panel will accept it as a saying this. Then we also need to condemn the Goli Maro slogans of Anurag Thakur, who is a minister.
Sir, let us
Kapil
not
Mishra,
draw. Let
where-
us not
No,
draw an
no,
equivalence
no,
here.
no.
Of course, we
Nobody
condemn
is
all those
drawing an
slogans.
equivalence.
You know, you have been
Bharat
on debates
mein
with
rehna
me
hoga.
where I have
No,
condemned all these
Rahul,
slogans. My
Rahul,
point is,
I was on
tonight
the
I'm
same
asking
debate
you.
where Nupur Sharma was.
No, Mr.
You know
Chaudhary.
that.
Mr.
And how
Chaudhary.
I was.
Mr. Chaudhary.
I was under IB protection for 2 months because I received live threats.
Mr.
Because
Chaudhary.
being on the same debate as Nupur
Mr.
Sharma,
Chaudhary.
you know that.
Mr.
Because
Chaudhary.
it was your erstwhile company.
Mr. Chaudhary.
Now
we
you
all,
say that
we,
Sar Tan Se Juda
no, hang
is
on,
a
Mr.
hate
Chaudhary.
speech.
Mr. Chaudhary.
Goli Maro is also hate
Mr.
speech.
Chaudhary.
भारत में रहना होगा तो जय श्री राम बोलना होगा.
But two wrongs
That is
don't
also
make a
hate
right,
speech.
do they? You made a huge hue and cry about the Goli Maro slogan, right? You did you not?
47 people
Did you
have
not?
they received
Did you not?
justice.
Why then
because
did
of
the
that?
administration in Rajasthan, which was at that time a Congress administration, not apply itself in totality, as you yourself are pointing out,
Why not?
to prosecute
Salman
this matter?
Chisti,
Why?
Wait, let me differentiate
And who is
two
going to-
cases out
no, no,
here.
who is going to
let
answer
me
for
differentiate
this?
two cases. One is of Salman Chisti and other is the Gohar Chisti. We are discussing the Gohar Chisti out here. Salman Chisti, who called directly for beheading the one person, Nupur Sharma, must be hanged according to the Indian constitution because that is not allowed. But Gohar Chisti made a hate speech. He is behind bars for the last 2 years.
Oh.
And you have got Anurag Thakur, Kapil Mishra, who gave Goli Maro slogans and 47 people killed because of that.
Okay, one second.
You have
Mr.
got slogans
Chaudhary,
coming in with
Mr.
the hate
Chaudhary,
speech.
Mr. Chaudhary,
You
Mr.
need
Chaudhary,
to draw an
Mr.
equivalence in all
Chaudhary,
these things.
Mr.
Let us
Chaudhary,
suggest from your panel
Mr.
that let
Chaudhary,
us
when
bring
there
a
is
law.
when there was, no, hang on, just a minute. Now, let me come in here. Since you guys have such a strong opinion on these matters, and I also have a very strong opinion, I think all of these cases should be tried with one basic equal standing. There's no doubt about that. I have no doubts about that. But my fundamental point tonight, viewers, is this: that you have seen in the recent past instance of hate speech made by, let's say, people from the BJP, or cases where there have been massive outrages connected to those political parties that are in power at the center, like the BJP or its allies. And the Congress and the other opposition parties have moved court, have gone up in appeal several times. We saw what happened in the Rajasthan, in the Gujarat government, Bilkis Bano matter. A case that even, viewers, I came out and criticized because I felt it was completely out of place. And in that particular case, viewers, a large number of civil society activists moved court, saying that the Bilkis Bano had been actually let down, betrayed.
Not only that,
No,
you
one
have
minute now,
got
Kamru
Umar
Chaudhary,
Khalid-
please, let me just finish,
Umar
please.
Khalid-
No, you
Umar
can't
Khalid
keep
behind
raising, you
bars
can't
for the
keep
last
shooting and scooting. Now
1400
listen to
days.
me, Mr. Chaudhary, please. Let's be patient with each other. Come on, let's be patient. So, viewers, in those matters, you had several of these opposition types lining up in the Supreme Court, going there, asking for justice, demanding justice. Today, viewers, there is a probability. I'm not saying it's a fact. There's a probability that an individual who made an insightful remark could have excited passions to the point where certain people took upon themselves the right to take action against somebody who they disagreed with. Should a case of that magnitude not have been treated, and let me bring in RSS ideologue Mr. Ratan Sharda into this conversation, should that not have been taken more seriously? Should this case not have been perhaps handed over to either an independent probe panel, or now, when there has been an acquittal under suspicious circumstances, should there not be a collective call for a retrial, reprobe, call it what you want to, Mr. Sharda? And if there isn't, why is there not?
Rahul, I am very sure that there will be reprobe, there will be appeal against this particular judgment. First of all, I am not an ideologue. Please take that designation from me. I am not an ideologue. Now, coming to the main issue. See, people here like Ishkaran, they are talking about law, they are talking about various articles. As a common man, my first question is, when this person instigates two communities, why Section 153 was not charged against these people? Why it was not taken up as creating hate between two communities? Now, before I go further, Kamru has been shouting a lot about the Goli Maro Salo Ko. What is the full slogan? Desh ke gaddaron ko Goli Maro Salo Ko. Was anybody present here, Desh ka gaddar, called Desh ka gaddar? No. So tomorrow if somebody says terroristوں ko Goli Maro Salo Ko, will anybody hurt? No. So why are they getting hurt? He said 47 people killed. Who instigated the riots? It's all in the courts. Who instigated the riots? The AAP leaders, the Muslim leaders, they created riot. It is very well known, recorded in the High Court. So don't keep on repeating false issues. To my mind, after this particular instigation by this Khadims, 6 people suffered violent attacks. Kanhaiya Lal, Umesh Kolhe, Munish Bhardwaj, Ankit Jha, Shanu Prasad and Nishank Rathod. 2 were beheaded, we know that. Nishank Rathod his body was found on the railway track with a warning sent to the father that it said, Nabi ke something, I forgot the slogan, I won't want to repeat it, something about Jo Nabi ki insult karega, blah blah SJTS. So there was no action. So you think that somebody instigates this kind of violence doesn't need more serious research? And for when the court shouted Nupur Sharma saying that she made a hate speech, they don't find this hate speech. Court says 5 minutes, 10 minutes, why the full speech was not there? Do you expect a private citizen in a hostile environment to record full speech, whereas the police? Why police didn't have their facts at place? And they say whether he gave 1 slogan or 10 slogans, Sar Tan Se Juda, how does it matter? Whether you raise the slogan once or raise it 10 times, is it heinous to make these slogans? And it is said this person met the killers of Kanhaiya Lal. Why this angle was not investigated? So my point is that Nupur has no right to life. Nupur has no freedom of expression. She has no even to read a book. But other people will use that to instigate people to murder people. And we will quietly keep on quoting laws and various angles. We have no pain that somebody has lost life to live life just by quoting something. And that particular quotation is from authorized books. And on the top of that, this call for hate speech, court tries to split hair about whether 5 minutes or 10 minutes, 1 slogan or 10 slogan. Police is to be brought to court, and this particular case has to be reinvestigated. But why this case was not dragged further? There is a gentleman from AIMM who said in Aurangabad, Nupur Sharma should be hanged from the electric pole, nearest electric pole. Was action taken against him? He fought the election also. So why are we sleeping on such people who create hate, who actually threaten,
you are talking about the MIM leader.
Hate?
You are talking about the MIM leader. I remember.
Yes, he is roaming free. So
well,
only
that's the
Nupur
problem,
Sharma
viewers.
for quoting a particular
And
book
Shahid Ali,
will suffer all life.
You need to
She will
answer.
suffer all the life.
Should there be a
and we'll
free
keep on-
speech? No. Should there be a free run for this kind of hate speech, sir? Should not anyone be asking any questions? Should not you be protesting this order? Why aren't you standing up?
Sir, till date, I think the prosecution has not been started against Nupur Sharma. against the people who have raised Golimaru Saluko and other hateful speeches were and have been made. Prosecution still has not been started, and even the FIR in some cases has not been registered. The judge who ordered for registration of FIR was shifted from Delhi to somewhere else. Now he has been retired. So these all are facts. And now, if you people or if anybody else is not happy with the decision of the Honorable Court, they will file an appeal. That is always the right of the prosecution or the state. Now, presently, the government is a Bharatiya Janata Party in Rajasthan. They should file an appeal. They should do everything to bring home, to get the justice imparted. Undoubtedly. So we are not in favor of making hate speech by anyone, whether Muslims or Hindu, because we are in favor of keeping the India united, keeping the people united.
Okay.
We are in favor of
the order has just been posted, viewers.
Not of hate.
Just one point. Just 5 seconds.
Yes, and I want to bring in Ishkan Bhandari right
suppose-
after. Yes. Yes.
Now suppose FIR is filed and Nupur Sharma is acquitted because it is freedom of speech and because she quoted from authorized book. Will she be allowed to live, and will these people stand by her to her life, for your right to life? Today they are not standing by her. Will tomorrow, when she's acquitted, will they stand by her? So don't make the excuse of her not being filed. If it is filed, I'm very sure she will get away rightly from the law as per what she said. But no, they will not do that, because again, you have Salman Rushdie suffering for years together. So these people don't believe in constitution. For them, constitution is suitable when it suits them. When it doesn't suit them, they will quote Sharia, they will quote all these things.
Okay, one second. Ishkan Bhandari, how do you respond to Shahid Ali and Mr.
Rahul,
Chaudhary, who say that there's a intrinsic double standard here? In fact, they've turned the argument on its head.
Rahul, they have not turned the argument on its head because we are living in facts. We are not living in 2V studios. What are the facts? Facts are Sar Tan Se Juda is not merely a slogan of hate speech. I believe it's a terrorist call because Ratanji counted out 5 or 6 names of people who faced violent attacks, including 2 who were killed and butchered. So please do not say it is just a political slogan or it is a slogan of a hate speech. It is a slogan where you are targeting people, where you are terrorizing people, where you want to kill people. Salman Rushdie, there is an example living in a Western country after so many years also, a person comes out and stabs him and tries to kill him. And how many people have read his book?
Rahul,
I would want to know. Out of that, not even one person would have read his book of the people who are threatening to kill Salman Rushdie. That's a global example. Even in the Indian context, as Ratanji has rightly said, I will carry the point forward. Tomorrow the trial is going on. It's a pending case. Whatever the courts decide, if Nupur Sharma gets acquitted, can she still move without security?
No.
So please do not allow
Highly
this false
unlikely.
equivalence. It is not turning a debate on it's not impossible. I won't mince words. It's impossible in my view. People can dispute that. But the reality is, let us not allow false equivalence.
And I just want, yes, on that point of false equivalence,
and not
Ishkan Bhandari, let's be very clear. Nupur
And
Sharma,
not from now,
Nupur
when the law came
Nupur
in.
Sharma didn't threaten violence against anybody. She might have made a comment that has been found objectionable by certain members of another community, and it is before the Supreme Court, this entire case, and it is going to be at some level or the other decided upon. But remember, viewers, that a person who is today tipped, and we're going to be breaking that story a little later, who could become the Deputy Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, for instance, scion of the DMK. He, in fact, the Supreme Court pulled him up for making a hate speech against Hindus, for suggesting that Sanatana Dharma should be completely eradicated because it is a virus, like HIV and other viruses. And the adherents, therefore, viewers, would be seen as germs. That is the normalization, viewers, the normalization of hate and violence. And the problem is that if individuals like this get off so lightly, viewers, it also encourages others to follow suit. I'll take a very short break. We'll be right back, viewers, in 3 minutes. Big story coming up. Don't go away. And also big breaking news.